There.
Welcome in.
There.
To the PHNX Final Daily Bet Show. I'm your host, and I always have been, Shane Diefenbach, joined as always on Fridays for the last 7 weeks by Rob Brock.
I don't know how I fell into this seat, where this prestigious award-winning bets show, its current state comes to an end today, and I get to be a part of it.
I'm just glad you're here.
Yeah, hey.
I'm glad you're here for me. I'm glad you're here for the people. And guys,
You must have called a lot of people before you called me.
I did. This is the final bet show in this format. We'll have a new one next week. But let's just go through the show like we would.
Okay.
Since we are changing the format, we are squeezing together two divisions, the AFC and the NFC West. One fun, one strange, but both should be a good time to bet on.
I found it actually pretty tough, challenging.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Especially when you look at like some of the props, some of the numbers are pretty high. So they're going to be sweats. But yeah, I mean, there's some top performers. And then you look at the NFC West, it's as far as proven commodities that you can kind of say, hey, I believe in this. It's mostly the San Francisco 49ers and then the Seattle Seahawks. What do you know? Like, what do you think you're going to get from them?
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got the bottom tier. I mean, Rams, ultimate wild card.
Mm-hmm.
They could win 9 games or they could win 2 games.
Well, let's start with the NFC West and
Okay.
your Arizona Cardinals. Have the last 48 hours changed your betting outlook on this team?
No, not necessarily. I mean, it remains a rebuild, and it continues to be a roster of kind of some unknowns as far as how. What do we got here? We got a special T-shirt.
Yeah, we got my Panda shirt.
Okay, so
The last bets ever.
does that mean that's gonna?
It's my lucky T-shirt.
Okay, you're gonna
That's what I
lock
wore
in
to Vegas.
some big fat winners. No, but I think that it doesn't change. Like as far as their ability on the
It's so tattered.
opening week against the Commanders, and it was I think a 7-point spread. Yeah, maybe you have more confidence that Joshua Dobbs, if he makes his way into the QB1 spot, that he can make the throws necessary to win a football game. More confidence than Colt McCoy, but like, what are we talking about here? We're breaking down Dobbs versus McCoy versus Tune. So
Is Colt McCoy? Does he have a chance to start still?
I mean, it's his job right now.
Yeah.
He's just got to hold off Dobbs.
Do you think he's going to hold off Dobbs?
I don't think so.
Not.
I think Joshua Dobbs is inevitable.
Holy shit, that's
That's
good.
never been said in the history of sports.
No.
I wanted to say it, so I
Well,
did.
you know what? It might have been said when ASU fans thought he was going to come to ASU, saying he was inevitable. But yeah,
they didn't have like a rocket science program that he ended
No.
up going to Tennessee for.
Yeah. All
He's
right.
a literal rocket scientist.
Do you think that the Niners are Super Bowl contenders?
Yeah, I do. It's really. I mean, we obviously need to find out about the quarterback position. Is Brock Purdy and his elbow good to go? They're riding with Sam Darnold. His best probably opportunity at the NFL level as a backup. But yeah, big question mark at the most important spot in sports. But it's a wagon of a roster.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? How like little production Deebo Samuel has had in terms of like raw stats. Like he does a lot of things, but I was like looking at his like numbers, especially touchdowns. Like he's just really good. But like I'll read you these numbers.
Okay.
So Deebo last year, he came on pretty strong near the end. He was hurt a little bit. Played in 13 games, 632 receiving yards, 232 rushing yards, only 2 touchdowns receiving, and only 3 rushing.
Yeah, 5 total touchdowns there.
Only 5 total touchdowns. And then the year before that, he had 8 rushing touchdowns at 2021.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And then he was like, "Hey, stop running me between the tackles so much. I got a career to think about here."
Yeah,
Team player.
That roster is
No,
good.
it is odd.
And it doesn't matter who the running back is. And I know the running back is Christian McCaffrey, but it literally does not matter. But adding Christian McCaffrey helps a ton. And I think a full year of that is going to be scary. We don't really have to talk about the Rams. They suck.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford is...
Stafford, Kupp, Donald. Other than that roster is trash.
It's terrible. They mortgaged their future and they won a Super Bowl. And was it worth it? Of course it was.
Now they're making payments.
Yeah, that's fine. Jacob, why are you dancing? Just because?
Because I can.
That's fair.
The holes in your shirt are great.
They're lucky
It
holes.
shows character for sure.
They usually when I have this off, you can see my skin too, which is really good.
Okay. Is that? Yeah. I mean, that's cool.
I've noticed that any shirt that I have that has animals on it, and I have a ton, way more than you would think, is a lucky shirt. So this was the first one. I got this at a thrift store.
Now, hold on.
Circa 2014.
I don't think outside of maybe sports logos, which would have an animal in it, like a cardinal.
Yeah.
I don't think I have an animal. Well, I have one. I have a bear.
Oh, I have.
It's a lumberjack.
I have
bear.
like three
And it's
different.
elite.
I have 3 different like wolf shirts, just wolf shirts.
That's a deep just wardrobe of animal.
My bag is deep.
Yeah.
My bag is deep. My favorite shirt that I've been wearing lately to Vegas, that has an animal on it, is a horse.
Yeah.
And it says advice from a horse, and it's like gallop through. I don't know, it's something crazy.
Let's gallop through the NFC
Let's
West.
gallop through the
NFC
pain
West.
in my
the
heart
Seattle
right now.
Seahawks is the last team to talk about. Their defense, Jamal Adams got activated from the
He
pup.
did, yeah.
Which
for
I
now.
did not think was going to happen.
It's
Did
good.
you talk about the Rams?
We glozed over
Remember
them.
I said the only team we don't have to talk about is the Rams, and he said
Yeah.
Cup, Stafford, Donald, other rest was trash. And then I said, now they're paying the piper. Get the deal. Jacob wasn't listening, but you guys probably were. Yeah. So they drafted 2 pretty fun pieces. Devin Witherspoon, who's going to be very exciting to watch play, and then JSA and Jackson Smith and Jigba, who might not be ready for week 1 after he broke something in his wrist.
Yeah. Yeah, and he looked really good in preseason.
Yeah, he did.
They had a 3-headed monster as far as receivers go, and then Geno Smith, that's going to be this biggest question, right? Can Geno replicate what he did last year?
And now the whole NFL has tape on him. So
yeah, they do.
That's a huge thing, and we'll get to that when we get to my props. Defensive side of the ball, they're always
stronger.
Yeah, they're stronger, but they just still don't care about the defensive line, and we'll see if that comes back to bite them once again this year. Without further ado, let's get into the NFC West. We'll start with your forecast, Bo. Win totals, what do you like here?
Yeah, I like the 49ers. When you look at the landscape of this division, 10.5, I think if they go 5-1, 6-0 potentially in the NFC West, that they're going to have a really good shot to, because then outside of the division, outside of the conference, they only have to get a couple more to get that 10.5.
Yep.
I like over 10.5 for the 49ers, even though the odds on it, minus 145, not that tasty, but I think
pretty tasty.
It's one of those where I think you can lock it in and you'll get the ROI on that, right?
Wow, return on investment. We are talking money. We're talking paper. We're talking finances.
Let's go.
Come on.
LA Rams under 6.5 wins, too high. This is a team that could very well bottom out. I think next offseason they do have their first round pick back, so it benefits them. And a guy like Caleb Williams, as we see in the chat from DD, would be a good piece for any football club trying to rebuild.
Yeah, he's good at football. He plays this week, actually. You know what? Something that we failed to talk about yesterday in our college bets preview is we were talking about the over in that game. It's 66, super high because their defense is bad and their offense is great. But
66?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Yeah. But the clock this year, it's the first year of the clock continuing to go.
On first downs, yeah.
So after first downs in college football. So that's something to keep in mind.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
It was like the one thing in college football that I was like, oh, sick. My team gets extra time because the clock stops.
Yeah. It will make game-winning drives harder. These are some easy bets, though, and I agree with you with the Niners win total. I'm taking the over on the Niners. 10.5 wins at minus 145 over at BetMGM. Minus 145, and I'm also taking the Seahawks. I think these are the 2 teams in the division that are going to make the playoffs, and look, 9.5 is a tasty total, and I can get plus money on that. This team has started 2 rookie tackles last year, and they were solid. And I think that's going to be a huge part if they can continue to play well. And this offensive line is good. They should win a lot of games. So I'm taking their over on BetMGM at plus 125.
Talking about the Seahawks, right? Yeah. So you like what you saw from Cross, and you think that they can...
Abraham Lucas and Charles Cross.
Okay.
Liked a lot.
And then is Charbonnet going to get...
Charbonnet and Walker look like it's going to be a split backfield. So don't draft them in fantasy.
All right. Stay away. Let's take a look at some props.
Take a look at some piggity props.
All right. I tried to go with my specialty here. Went on the Cardinals. There's not a lot, right? I mean, James Conner, the guy has 26 total touchdowns in the last 2 seasons for the Arizona Cardinals. I think that this is going to be a rush-heavy offense, and if James Conner, the biggest question, can he stay healthy? He looks fresh throughout the preseason and training camp. I I think he easily gets to 6.5 rushing tutties. James Conner, I still think he's right in this ballpark as far as 700-plus rush yards. I think with the extra workload this season and probably the idea that this is his final season as an Arizona Cardinal, they're going to rack up the mileage on him, so I think he cruises past 725. And then Hollywood Brown, he's got to get past 799.5 receiving yards for himself to hit the free agent market and make some money next year.
You think he's gone?
I think so. I mean, I think they like what they see from Michael Wilson. They've got some guys already in-house, and then a top pick potentially. There's a guy named Marvin Harrison Jr. that could potentially be this wide receiver.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's my hot take. Is he's going to be a good receiver in this league?
That's going out on a limb.
Yeah.
That's what makes the show great.
Speaking of going out on a limb, the Cardinals are gonna have none at the end of the season.
Limbs?
Yeah, they're gonna get dismembered by the NFL. Before all the trades, I was like, "There's no way they're gonna be that bad." And then I looked at their roster. I was like, "Oh my god."
What do you mean? After Josh Jones got traded?
No. It wasn't the players that got traded. It was just the attention to detail. After the trades, I was like, "Oh." Now that Isaiah Simmons is gone, let me look. And then I looked at the roster. I was like, "Oh, that's why."
Okay.
Yeah. These are my props for the NFC West. James Conner, agree. Rushing touchdowns. I think that's the only way they're going to score points this year. they're gonna have to just pound the rock. I mean, Joshua Dobbs, you said he's inevitable. He's actually not. He's not that good of a quarterback. He's fine. And Greg Dortch is a very good wide receiver. Hollywood Brown's a very good wide receiver. We'll see if Trey McBride can make some strides, but there's just not enough through the air for that to move the needle. So I think they're going to get it done on the ground. And I'm going with the over on Geno's interceptions. He threw 11 last year, and as I said, now they have tape on him. Yeah. And this is a put up or shut up season, obviously, for Geno. Like, he needs to prove it. He got a huge 1-year deal. Now can he prove it with this? And I don't think if he throws 13, 14 interceptions, it's going to be the end of the world, but I think he's going to struggle at times because defenses know him more.
Is the NFL going to write back?
The NFL might write back. The NFL might actually, they'll probably email back, might text back. I'm going to text this man, DK Metcalf, and say, "You're very tall and large, DK." Yeah. I'm taking his over on 7.5 receiving touchdowns. He's, I think there's a lot of, there's a lot of attention on JSN as the sexy young rookie, and everyone wants to bet on the new guy, the flashy guy. And he is awesome, and I really like him, but DK Metcalf is still your wide receiver 1, and Tyler Lockett is still unbelievably underrated. I think they're going to score a lot of points again this year, and I think that comes with DK, and I think you can score a ton when you download BetMGM. Guys, it's the best place to bet on the NFL, the NCAA football, March Madness, whatever you want to bet on. The BetMGM Sportsbook app has it for you. Right now, you can download it and use that bonus code PHNX. There's a few different offers depending on where you live. Before our Arizona audience, place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it loses. Check out the show notes for full details. And now listen to me talk about the disclaimer. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-522-4700 Nevada. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Kansas, Nevada, New York, or Ontario. Yeah. Now it's time for the AFC West. Something crazy just came on my Twitter.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the AFC West. This division's better.
It is. It's top to bottom, one of the most talented in the NFL.
Yeah.
One of the most.
I don't think that the bottom teams are going to win over. I don't think they're.
Yeah, I mean the Vegas Raiders could be just steam pile of garbage.
Yeah,
for sure.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, it's close.
Jimmy.
Aiden O'Connell potentially could see some time.
Jimmy Grubby Hands Garoppolo. Do you think he's gonna find new life?
For a spurt, and then he's gonna get hurt again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Jimmy G's way. Yeah. Look handsome and get hurt.
Yeah. This is the fucking dream, dude. This is the dream. He's literally living Blue Mountain State in real life.
Serve his purpose.
And he got, dude, can you imagine? He's definitely going to find new life because he's in effing Las Vegas.
Right.
Bro, that'd be so awesome. I would jump off. You know what I would do? Well, hold on.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, let's see where he's going with
I
this.
would go to a trampoline park every day until I rolled my ankle severely. If I was
In
Jimmy
Vegas?
G. Yeah.
Oh,
so I could
just
get
so
hurt and not play and just go gamble.
I'm sure that you think there's like a loophole in most NFL contracts. Like you can't. Like it doesn't say I can't go to a trampoline park.
Yeah,
I was at the flying squirrel.
When I was negotiating my contract, I'd be like, okay, you can't ding me for a non-football injury. You can't put me on the NFL list if I get hurt at a trampoline park.
It doesn't stop any of them from doing things that their contract says.
I know, but if you get hurt at a trampoline park, you're getting put on an NFL list and you're not getting your full contract.
Just pull a Jeff Kent and say you were washing your truck. That's what he did after he allegedly fell off a motorcycle. We'll say that. I don't want this show to get hit legal ramifications.
Yeah. Allegedly, I like the Chargers a lot this year.
Yeah, I do too. As far as betting darlings, for sure.
Yeah. I think, we could talk additions and subtractions of players in this division, but I think the biggest addition in this division was Kellen Moore.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest subtraction was Joe Lombardi. Great physique for a man, terrible play caller. Awful play caller, Joe Lombardi. Kellen Moore, big fan of. I think the Cowboys letting him walk was the dumbest decision they could have made. Their offense wasn't working because of Mike McCarthy. It had nothing to do with Kellen Moore. And I think you'll see that this year. I think he's going to let Herbo slang that rock, if you will.
Yeah, I like it. I like that. I absolutely do. I think that Justin Herbert is going to the moon as far as his production. That's why I got him in my props. I'll tell you what those are here pretty soon. You want to get into them right? Yeah, let's. Why not? Why not? Perfect transition. I don't want to waste it. Justin Herbert leading the league in passing yards, plus 600. I love that.
Tasty.
I'll snack on that. Travis Kelce. I still don't know anybody in the Kansas City Chiefs receiving core that is going to get, especially red zone targets, more than Travis Kelce. Seems like 9.5. I know it's a high number.
What about that guy from Penn?
Penn? That's
white boy from Penn.
Ivy League. That's great.
Yeah.
He's probably he's
Justin
great with his
Forston or whatever his name is.
His finances.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as taking away red zone targets from Kelce, ain't happening. And then also ain't happening. Russell Wilson resurgence tour.
No.
Under 24.5 passing touchdowns. There was a point at last season, deep into the season, that Russell Wilson had more bathrooms in his mansion than he had touchdown passes.
Yeah.
There was also a point in the season, a long spurt during the season, when Carson Wentz, who was like benched in week 4, had more touchdown passes than Russell Wilson, who played virtually every game until he did have an injury early or at the back end.
There was also a point in the season where he had a birthday party and nobody came.
None of his teammates.
Yeah, he has a lot of friends, I would assume. Mr. Unlimited.
You think you have more animal T-shirts than he has touchdown passes this year?
I think I have more animal T-shirts than he has in his career. Touchdown passes. That's a lie. But maybe. 25? No, 25 is crazy.
Yeah.
My bag's not even that deep. That's like Mary Poppins shit. That's insane. I'm gonna Mary Pop
Some
out
obscure animals.
Yeah,
there.
I'm gonna Mary Pop out to these picks.
It's a meerkat.
Yeah, I do a red panda shirt.
So what's your props or your forecast?
Here are my props for the AFC West. Big Herbo fan, taking his over on passing yards. I like that though. I like the lead the league in passing yards, but over 4,500 passing yards seems easy. He threw for 5,000 two years ago, and now I think they're just going to let him cook this year. So taking us over on that. Travis Kelce, over 9.5 receiving touchdowns, just like you. The man is an animal, and I don't think he's slowing down anytime soon. And then just like you, I'm fading Russell Wilson, but I'm doing it with passing yards. This number is crazy to me. He didn't even he like went on and off of doing this in Seattle when the offense was on fire.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't make sense. I'm taking the under on this passing yards, 3.725. Smashing that under over at BetMGM. Yeah, this division is hard because it's hard to not bet on the Chiefs every single time because they've just continued dominance. And that's why I'm betting on the Chargers and the Chiefs. And we'll go ahead and throw out my forecast for this division. I like the Chiefs to win it, or the Chargers to win it this year. But not only to win it, but to be the AFC 1 seed. If they want to win this division, they have to beat out the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are the favorite for the 1 seed. So why not take the Chargers to be the AFC number 1 seed?
It's go big or go home.
Yeah, and get that at plus 1,800 over at BetMGM. If you think they're going to win this division, instead of taking them at plus 300, I would sprinkle at the plus 1,800 number. I like it a lot. And then the Broncos under 8.5 wins. I don't even need to talk about that. But I do think that if the Chargers get that 1 seed and win this division, it's going to be with 12 or 13 wins, and they're going to have a tiebreaker over the Chiefs because the Chiefs are still going to win 12 games. They haven't gone under that total since 2018. Yeah. They're a great team. They're wagon. They're not going to slow down. They didn't slow down without Tyreek Hill. They're not going to slow down this year.
I like it. I like actually all those. Let's take a look at mine. LA Chargers. I was a coward. I didn't take them to win just the outright AFC. I said just 9.5.
I like that. Though.
Yeah, I was
That's
just
a great number.
A little scared. And yeah, I'm down on the Broncos. I'm not buying into the Sean Payton hype. Like he's going to take a team that was in the bottom 5 in the league last year and then suddenly just get them back to the playoffs. Under 5.5 or 8.5 wins. The Broncos offensive line looks really bad. Like the Cardinals defensive line, they handled them. They created 8 quarterback hurries or hits and 2 sacks. That's just not good enough. And it's not conducive to a Russell Wilson comeback tour this year. So I'm out on that.
Yeah, you're out on Russ. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna let that man cook.
He's not capable of it.
Yeah.
He can get out of my kitchen.
Yeah. Well,
you turn your ringer off?
No, that's somebody calling, I think. Who is that?
Try answer?
Yeah, answer it. Whoa.
Oh, hello. It's me, Johnny Venerable, one of the original co-hosts here on PHNX Bets Daily Podcast and the singular owner of the highest hit rate in the history of this program for any season. The NFL season circa 2021, your boy is at 70% higher than professional gamblers. Check the tape. It did happen. Now, I want to come on today and pay my respects. I want to thank everybody associated with this fine program, from Sean DePaz to producer Leah, Jacob, Emma, everybody who did a fantastic job, and that even includes our sweet baby boy, Shane Diefenbach. He did try his best, and while he's well under my hit totals for this program, well under, he still owes me 2 blooming onions. We want to commend Shane for his talents and his efforts in making this your premier betting show. While I'm excited to see what he does in the future with PHNX Bets Daily Podcast, I want to thank you, Shane, for doing your best.
Thank you, James. Johnny Venerable, everybody. First of all, it's a lie. No,
you didn't do your best?
No, I did not do my best. 70% is also a big fat lie. I do owe him 2 blooming onions. However, he does owe me blonde hair. He bet me that he would dye his hair blonde. I think those either cancel out or he owes me blooming onions now. And we'll get there when we can. Johnny, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for your service on bets, Johnny.
Any I said this to Sean yesterday, but any last words?
No, just pull the plug on me.
We're pulling the plug on this format, but we will be back next week with a brand new
It's going to be way better, guys.
show. And you'll just have to tune in to find out every single Monday through Friday, still at noon, right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. We came to you live today from the Four Peaks Mini Bar, and we'll continue coming to you live from the Four Peaks Mini Bar every Monday through Friday at noon right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Guys, it's been a pleasure. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Shane Deef. You can follow Bo on Twitter at Bo Brock. You can follow Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Venerable. Follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. Follow PHNX_sports across all socials, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And we'll see you guys, or I'll see you guys on Monday. But until then, peace, love, and just for the one time, PRA.